behind all any overnight success, there should be a decade of hard work. This was actually coined by US Story a couple of years back when they've written an article about us where they said we are like an Amazon for rural India. After hearing to the entire story, he said only one sentence: "If I were you, I would have committed suicide 2 times." So I feel that that's the greatest compliment I have received. There is nothing called easy money here. I mean, if there is an easy money, it will not remain with you.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to another series of Embrace Excellence. Today, personally, for me, it's a very exciting session because we have with us a first-year entrepreneur who has revolutionized the rural e-commerce industry by bringing in an organization into the midst that has changed the lives of millions of people, the way they work, the way they function, the way they earn, the way their livelihoods are impacted. It's just not that. This company has done things which have been on the talk of the show for many, many years. And it's only apt to say that this organization is going to go even more to greater heights as we talk about it. Today on the show, I have with me Mr. Vamsi Udayagiri, who's the founder of HESA Technologies. Vamsi, welcome to our show.
Thank you. My pleasure.
How are you doing today?
I'm very good. How are you?
I'm good. I believe you're back from a long journey just now.
Yeah. I've been in extensive travel. We launched in a couple of states. Then, I had to go and meet few investors in Mumbai. So, yeah, it was a hectic journey.
You're a man on the means at least.
Yeah.
Is that something you love doing? Or
I mean, if given a chance, I would rather spend most of the time in rural. That's what I enjoy the most. But yeah, I think the growth phase at which we are, I think, I better like it. So I'm liking it.
Wonderful. What about rural excites you so much?
See, actually, I'm born in a village which has 200 houses. So I come from that rural. Though my childhood is in a town and all, always had that, deeper connection. Always like the greenery, the fields, the farming and the way, farmers used to work and all. So that's there always. But I think what makes me more, exciting is the kind of opportunity that is there. People see that as a lot of challenges, but I have seen that as an opportunity because rural has immense opportunities which is untapped. Believe me, we have not even touched 1% of, rural India, and the impact that we have already created itself shows that, it's a large untapped market and someone has to do it. And I mean, I'm very happy personally that, I've chosen this path.
Amazing. Is it true that some people call you the Amazon of rural India?
Yeah, this was actually coined by US Story a couple of years back when they've written an article about us where they said we are like an Amazon for rural India. In fact, with a difference, because Amazon only sells products. We do both buying and selling. So that means the same person in a village can buy whatever he needs versus he can sell whatever they have produced also. So, yeah.
What's the ethos of HESA if I just want to get there and understand, and probably for the viewers here, I know I'm talking about a very exciting organization which is looking into the future. Would you like to throw some light on that?
Yeah, so when I started, I had a very narrow vision that I wanted to work something in rural India. I didn't know way back then that, it's going to be unleashed the way it's unleashed. And I believe that, in fact, it is further going to, enhance the way it is working. But for me, at this moment, I feel that HESA is a gateway for rural India. So we're trying to build that platform or that last mile distribution network, which enables rural to thrive better and to, prosper better. Because today with the aspirational goals increased in rural itself, people are ready to buy as good as products what an urban consumer or a town consumer can buy it. It all needs is a right distribution network and a right platform. And more than anything, by creating this, HESA wants to create a better rural economy, because if all the money in rural is now coming to the urbans, what if the same money gets rotated in the rural itself, the economy improves and it gives an opportunity for many people to get livelihood opportunities, and that's what we're creating.
That's wonderful. I mean, just to pause on that, when you said the same money circulates in rural India, how do you aim to make that happen?
So by creating, hyper-local marketplaces, by creating, good agri-buy-sell marketplaces, so we can actually enhance that. Let me take a couple of examples. Like, you know, there is a village A where they are producing some product. Then there is a village B where they are actually producing another product. But this village B also needs the products that are, produced by the village A. This kind of, connecting between villages distribution network is not there. And that's what we're trying to create. And that's where, money in the rural India remains in rural so that, the economy gets better.
Brilliant. That's brilliant. On that note, a very interesting thing I've seen is HESATis. Who coined that word? And I believe it has a very, very strong impetus.
So, actually, HESA, the word came from HESA. And actually, there is a big backstory for the name HESA.
We heard that more for it.
So, me and my co-founder, Hema, my wife, we both were sitting in a cafe. We were trying to name the company. So then we were looking for some good catchy names because I think that's the trend. Like, you have Ola, Uber, like that. So when we are trying to, think, we are not getting good ideas. So whenever I'm thinking, I have a habit of writing my name, sometimes my wife's name, kids' names. I was just writing, and it so happened that when I read it, Hema is my wife's name and Sahasra is my daughter's name. So we just clubbed it, said HESA. And then we wanted to get whether the name is good. So we checked in a couple of languages. In Sanskrit, in Greek, it actually goes back that HESA means excellence or grandeur. And this was the time when Bahubali also came. And whenever you see Prabhas elevation scene coming or Bahubali elevation scene comes, it comes with a background sound called HESA, like that. So
Yes.
so this is where we decided, yes, we got a name. Now, people who are associated with HESA, how do we call them? So then we kind of derived from HESA because HESA, person who is actually working with HESA is HESAThi. HESAThi also means like hi friend, companion. So we want to make this person a lifetime companion for the rural people. And that's where the connect will be like, HESAThi. So like I'm ready for, helping you, associating with you for the lifetime. So that we want to give that meaning to the person who is associated with HESA, and it happened like that.
Such a powerful story, I should say, Vamsi. I mean, I feel that's like a long story.
Yeah.
You were sitting in the cafe.
Yeah.
And then you're talking about Bahubali, and then you're talking about HESAThi, how you put it together. You're a good storyteller, I believe. Do you believe in that?
I mean, I also never know that, I'm a good storyteller. In fact, I'm more than a good storyteller. I'm a good writer, actually. Like, no, I can pen down my thoughts better than, speaking. So, but yeah, I mean, see, the thing is, if sharing our experiences and if your passion is so large and like if your vision is so large and if that is coming naturally and automatically, I think I'm a good storyteller. But
the reason I would say you're a good storyteller is because this is a big vision, right? Distribution network is not a small game. Distribution network is a very, very big game. And if you're able to communicate your vision to the outside world and make them believe in you and work along with you to achieve that vision, a brilliant storyteller. And I believe this generation of entrepreneurs need to be great storytellers, because if you can't share your story, I believe there's really no way to get forward.
yeah, in fact, I'm very good at connecting with the rural people, the HESATis. Like, for example, in the first month when we launched, we onboarded 75 HESATis, and today more than 64 of them are still with HESA after 4.5 years also.
So one of the most interesting things for me personally is the impact we have on the people, on the community. And I was going through one of the testimonials on your website where a woman from a rural place has mentioned that I've got a great opportunity because of HESA, and today I'm earning well because of HESA, and that too without investment. And more than anything else, the respect that I've got in the society has gone up. Just stretching a little bit more on that, I've heard about stories, people who are earning like 5,000-6,000 through HESA, who ended up earning 1 lakh, who are earning a lakh, and they've employed people. So you're giving employment, you're improving the lives of people. I believe it's in thousands or lakhs. You have to give me the number. How do you feel about it? And is that the core thing around which HESA's solutions revolve?
Yeah. See, in fact, there is a backstory. When I decided that I wanted to do work in rural, I packed my bags. I traveled for 16, 17 months. When I said travel means not going in the morning and coming, like in this 16, 17 months, I would have come home 4, 5 times, like visited across 7, 8 states. This is when actually I got the idea of HESA, which we can discuss later. But coming back to the point, what I observed is, especially, women, other than agricultural labor, there are no much opportunities for them to actually earn when you are in a village. Either you have to migrate to a nearby town, or end up doing nothing. But if we can give right opportunities for people living in villages, especially the case which you mentioned, there's a girl, who is earning a decent income sitting in their own village. It's more than anything, the kind of respect they get, in the village, because they are influencing, people's lives. See, and this is core for HESA. Why? Because the biggest challenge in rural is, until unless you have create the trust factor, it is very difficult to go and work in villages. So because rural thrives on relationships and trust. So fundamentally, we have to find a person who is from the same village, who is known to them by name, and if they start evangelizing about a concept called HESA, then the belief will be more, rather than a person going from a nearby town, meeting them, greeting them, and coming back in the evening. The trust will not be developed. And there are many examples. Like today, we have around 40,000 such village level entrepreneurs who are HESATis, who are earning a decent income. Like at an average, if HESA is their primary job, they earn more than 15,000 per month sitting in a village. For most of them, this is also a side hustle. Like they are into farming, and they also do this where they earn like 5,000, 6,000 in rural is equivalent to 15,000, 20,000 in urban. And there are few great case studies. In fact, there is a woman from Warangal district who actually got a President Award on this Republic Day. She is earning more than 1 lakh. When she started, she just used to actually earn 5,000, 6,000 rupees. But now, after she has realized like how big she can actually grow, so she started making spices. She started making a lot of other products, and now she's like running some 7, 8 units. She gave employment to almost 10 people, where they are earning like 7, 8,000 sitting in a village, and she is earning more than 1 lakh per month. So that's a great case studies, and many more. But yeah, this what gives happiness, because what gives me the real happiness is, rarely you will find a opportunity or a model which has a huge commercials in it and a huge impact in it. And I believe that HESA is one thing that has happened to me.
Brilliant. I'm sure you must be sleeping well. When you know that you've impacted so many lives, right? What's your vision for HESATis from here? I know you've reached a great point. What's your vision?
So we want to create, 10 lakh livelihoods. India has 6.5 lakh villages, and 4 lakh villages fall under the size of less than 20,000 population, and where there is a huge opportunity. And for every 400 to 500 customers, there is a HESATi opportunity that is available. And this, we want to make this as a mass movement, where somebody say that, okay, I want to be an LIC agent, or somebody says that, I want to be something like that. People in rural should say that I should be a HESATi. So that's my vision. And in this process, want to create at least 10 lakh livelihoods.
I love the way you dream big, Vamsi. So in this, I have one question for you. I know the rural world is developing in India, and you're playing a major role in it. What is the role of the urban population in this, or the urban community in this, in driving this vision of yours?
So, if I have to put it in this way, urban has enough opportunities that is already there, and we are so comfortable that sitting here, we can literally get anything what we want. More or less the same in towns, because though digitally not available, hardly you travel a kilometer in your town, you literally get everything. So at least from HESA point of view, we don't have any vision of reaching out to people in urban, consumers. But yes, there are a lot of brands, a lot of products, which can see life in rural, which we are trying to work on it. And probably in future, we may also bring those kind of products which are handicrafts, handlooms from rural India to urban customers. But at this point of time, the vision is to actually, create opportunities and work in rural India. As I said, we have not even touched 1% of rural India.
So do you also work with a lot of FMCG brands in this process?
Yes, so most of the FMCG brands work with us because, let me take an example. Procter & Gamble, which is the second largest brand or the largest FMCG brand, they also don't have the insights or the reach to the customers if the village population is less than 10,000. Especially, they have a product called Whisper, which is a woman-oriented sanitary napkin, and there is a lot of stigma, to discuss even these kind of products in rural. So we've kind of created those awareness campaigns for Procter & Gamble, for Santur, so like that. So we work with a lot of FMCG brands.
When you're talking about this, I just wanted to understand how much does your past experience roll over into HESA? I was going through your profile and there was an events organization which was there 12 years, right? Could you speak a bit about your past experience before you entered HESA?
So I worked in supply chain domain for 10 years. Worked as an employee as well and worked on my own. So anything on supply chain, aftermarket supply chain. So I always have that, experience of understanding distribution, supply chain, because that's the core of, any business to get into distribution. And then, when I started HESA, again, as I said, I visited 16, 17 months. And that's when I got this idea of HESA. I named it as Palle Seva at that time. This is in 2012. Palle is village and Seva is service. But I immediately realized that I think market is not ready. Technology is not there. Mobile penetration in rural is not there. More than anything, I don't have the experience in rural. So I thought, let's try something to do in rural. So I know we started the mobile job alerts program. We gave jobs to 4,000 people, but the model is commercially, not successful. Then we launched solar products. We did a decent business in less than 1 year, but realized that we don't have the expertise of after sales support, which is for any product. So after 2-3 iterations, I realized that, in fact, I started focusing okay, things were not going right. But I thought there may be something going right because I'm able to launch things. And then I realized that irrespective of any product or service that I'm doing it, the way we are innovatively taking to the rural is what is the differentiation I observed. And then I started, okay, let's run as a services company for few years. So that's where we started into, rural campaigns. Then from campaigns, we evolved into events and we started doing events across towns. And then we, did a mega event in Hyderabad called Pakka Hyderabad. So like that, events experience has given us to actually gain a lot of experience in rural. And that has actually helped a lot when we launched HESA.
It just reminds me of Steve Jobs' quote where he said, the dots connect backwards.
Yeah.
We don't do things thinking they will lead us to somewhere, but when you look back, there is a connection.
Yes, always, yes.
In that note, I just want to pivot the discussion to a different aspect altogether. You're a first-gen entrepreneur. And it takes lots of guts to be a first-gen entrepreneur. And you're talking about packing your bags for 17 months, exploring the market. Talk to me about what were the challenges you faced or what was your mindset like when you said, I'm going to do this. I'm going to make this happen. And I'm going to make this happen big, when I'm sure not a lot of them will have believed in your idea. That when you're saying rural India, when it happens, people will be like, wow. When it is in progress, I'm sure people would have had their apprehensions of where you were heading. So how did you deal with that? I believe your immediate family is not a set of entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
The first one who's disrupted.
Yeah. So I come from a well-educated family, mostly into education, teaching background and all. My mother's side, my grandfather was, a businessman. He was into multiple businesses, but, their next generation couldn't take it forward. So, it's like the moment I said that I want to start something, it's like a shocker. First, starting with my wife, she was really hesitant, you were comfortable doing something. I'm sharing something here. In fact, I took a job in between so that, I can get a girl for marriage. So that's the kind of a background from where, I have come from. So that was really tough. But I didn't realize that I'm hell-bent on things. Like, now if I look back, when things were going worse also, like, I was always hell-bent that, I wanted to do something. And quickly, I think in 5, 6 months, my wife realized that I think this guy really is serious. He wants to do something. So thanks to my wife. So she not only supported, she joined, me in this cause. But yeah, raising money, getting the, opportunities, working, not working, and there are a lot of challenges. And I mean, if I have to put it in one single sentence, recently, couple of years back, I met my childhood friend, whom we met almost like after 20 years. He was in US. He came back, and we were sitting, and I started explaining what has happened in this 8 years before HESA has actually happened. After hearing to the entire story, he said only one sentence: "If I were you, I would have committed suicide 2 times." So I feel that that's the greatest compliment I have received, because things were not at all easy, and yeah, we had to really go through tough times to reach where we are.
So tell me about your mindset in this case. When I hear this, I just related to what you said initially. You look at opportunities. And I personally believe that's the biggest differentiating factor between a lot of us, people who look at challenges, people who look at opportunities. And in all this space where your friend said that you were going through a tough phase according to what he heard, you still went through.
Yes.
What helped your mindset be there? The reason I'm asking this is, people could be hearing this on our channel tomorrow, and there could be aspiring entrepreneurs, or there could be entrepreneurs going through a phase of struggle. Is this mindset something you shape, or is this something that you had?
I mean, obviously, I have shaped a lot of things, but as I said, I was always hell-bent in doing things. See, anybody who's hearing, I think my couple of thoughts is, there is nothing called easy money here. I mean, if there is an easy money, it will not remain with you. So that's one. And second thing is, I've seen a lot of people like, trying certain things for 5 months, 6 months, and then they say, okay, I think this is not working. I will look at some other opportunity. See, I mean, you don't know, probably you would have tried one more step, one more month, things would have happened. So you shouldn't give so easily is what I feel. And I always believe that overnight success, behind any overnight success, there should be a decade of hard work, and that's what I believe. And more than anything, I don't clutter my mind. I keep my mind very simple. Like, whatever I'm doing it at the present, I will live. I will not bother about what has happened in the past, or I will not, get tense that okay, tomorrow this is going to come. Live in the present. Don't clutter your mind, and just follow the flow. That's what is my secret.
Wonderful. Do you de-stress yourself a lot?
Yes, I de-stress by, spending time with my family, and spending time with my friends. And I personally, like, I listen to music and dance a lot. So these are the ways I, come out of the stress.
Interesting. So I remember during one of the conversations, you said you've learned different forms of art, dance specifically. I just want to see if you'll surprise me by telling that you learned some other different forms. And the reason why I wanted to ask you this is, I see a lot of correlation between what you do personally, which flows into your professional form of life, that you're a learner. I just see a person who always likes to learn, do something new. So what else hidden talents do we need to talk about?
See, I mean, from childhood, always like, watching films and all those songs, I used to dance, and any family function, like, I used to take the limelight unknowingly, and, I used to, dance for it. Then my younger sister used to learn Bharatanatyam, and she was having a tough time to get the right neck movement. And like, I just picked it up in a second, I started teaching her. So then I realized that, okay, I think I can get into, professional, dance also. So I couldn't get opportunity because studies and all. I was good at games and all, but, I didn't took this seriously. But after my graduation, when I was in Chennai, I learned like 6 dance forms, like hip hop, Zaire, salsa, all those dance forms. And naturally dance comes. So, I just picked it up. And in my first year of my engineering, for Freshers Day, I danced for Mukabla from Mukabla song. I forgot the movie name now. Yeah, Prem. And my reason to dance is my seniors have seen me dancing while ragging, and they said, "Will you perform?" Then I said, "I want to see the steps. Otherwise, I'll not perform." So to miss the ragging, I picked it up because every day they used to take me to that movie that was released at that time, and I skipped ragging because of that. And after I danced, like people, I mean, in my college they used to call me like Prabhudeva of the college. So
I remember calling you the same. So, Vamsi, one thing I really wanted to understand here is while you're building such a large organization, that too with a great distribution footprint, you need an amazing team in place to make this happen. I believe this cannot be a one-man show. It's a one-man's vision, but you need a team to work with you. So, how does the culture at your organization work like to bring this vision to place?
uh, thanks for bringing this point, because I mean, any large scale impact can be created only with the right team, and without that, how much of a bigger vision it will fall flat. Luckily, I think my leadership team, they also equally live in a HESA like the way I live in it. So that way, I think we are fortunate. And what has happened is we went through the Stanford Seed Transformation Program, which is a combination of online, offline, and there is a business advisor who worked along with my leadership team, where we were working on design thinking, we were working on segmentation, targeting, positioning. So that's when actually we as a team came together. Otherwise, normally everybody is busy in their own functions. But I think that program has actually helped us evolve as a team, come together as a team. And our leadership team, we have fun. In fact, last to last week, there is a festival in my native place, and all my leadership team came there, and we celebrated that festival in our native place. After that, in Beamley, Novotel, we had a full day leadership, meet summit, and then followed by, spending some time in the beach and all. So we very frequently, like, at least once in 15 days, we have either a mostly informal kind of, meetings, gatherings, so that we also understand other person's, nature and other things. So that has really helped us. And now we're going a step ahead. Like if 7 people can do this, why can't in an organization we have another 10, 12 people who are mostly at a mid-level? And if they also like live the same vision like the leadership team, the organization evolves and grows. And that's what we are focusing. In fact, in mid-November, we are going to have a mid-level manager workshop for 2 days where we are actually doing, in fact, I've picked a lot from Convergence, like, in doing events, like splitting into groups. So like we've created a format for ourselves, like where people come and discuss about, challenges and how we can solve that as a team. So we're doing, that workshop, and the vision is like in next 1 year, we should have 20 brand ambassadors of HESA, not 6 or 7 people. So that's the vision we are working on.
Amazing, amazing. I just see that you're a student for life and your team members as well, because you're investing so much on learning. But from a culture perspective, I know now we are talking about going from the leadership team and also empowering your mid-level managers, right? Who play the critical.
Yeah.
I believe if your employees stay back only if they like their managers, otherwise they don't stay.
Yeah.
That's a stat, I should say, which is believed to be true. How are you working on your culture in your organization?
So, see, primarily the culture that we're trying to build is to create an open and a flat structure rather than a hierarchical structure. We have once in a week, every Friday, we actually have a 1 hour session where all employees, all hands meeting we will have. People who are at a very junior level also can directly come and, ask a CEO about anything, ask about the leadership team. And sometimes most of the better ideas come from, those mid-level, even the low-level, employees. So the culture that we wanted to create is one, to have empathy towards, people, because we work with humans, we work with HESATis. So we should have that empathy towards people and have an open culture where, we are ready to discuss about challenges and not, do the blame game. So that's the culture that we are trying to build.
Amazing, amazing. Empathy is such an important word in today's era, right? I see a very nice boss, and I look at Vamsi out here, who's very nice, who's empathetic, who's ready to hear out everyone. is there another side of Vamsi as the boss? Because you will have to take tough calls. Not every time your team members or your employees are going to be on the right side of the things, right? So
So most
is accountability a big thing?
no, mostly I'm a I mean, like a fun-loving person, go-getter, and gives. In fact, I give a lot of opportunities. After they fail, also, like I give opportunities because I think that's how they learn. But yes, I'm also human, so sometimes I really get irritated. Mostly because, see, as an internal organization, fine. I mean, but when you are working with external stakeholders like your investors or HESAPs or customers or brands, I think punctuality should be given the first priority. Any email has to be responded in 24 hours. Any, group communication, you should actually respond in a couple of hours because that otherwise you are not giving, importance to your external stakeholders. And if that gets sometimes, disturbed, the wildest Vamsi comes and, I literally shout so that the roof, goes up. But again, I'm quickly in less than 10-15 minutes, I become normal. And again, most of the times I go to them and also say, sorry, but you've really done mistake. That's why, it has happened. I don't look at the hierarchy. I don't look at, probably this is one thing I need to change because if I get angry, I don't see the circumstances and I become wild. But 1 out of 10,000 times only that happens. So, I mean, so that much patience I keep it. And after that, it just, comes out.
Well, I totally understand because as an entrepreneur, there's so many pressures, there's so many challenges you're facing day in, day out. There's always, I believe, a point beyond which there's always going to be a reaction to situations. But I feel that's very off from me. The way I look at you is like someone who's really helping, I won't say helping, you're okay that people fail. And I think that's a great characteristic. You're having empathy, you're encouraging people to learn. I believe.
And another thing, just I wanted to share here, it's not only my employees are HESATis, I work with a lot of founders as well, like, because what I've observed is a lot of founders have good ideas, but they tend to, fail because of, getting into the wrong path. So probably if there I could help. So at least there are like, 8 to 10 founders I work with, I've kind of nurtured them, I kind of mentor them. I've actually also invested in a couple of them. So yeah, that's one thing, because if we have a very strong founder community, it's better for the society, and we can actually create much more wonderful models. And yeah,
I think you're impacting the society in the right way. While talking about that, I know you touched upon Convergence, Corporate Connections All India Summit, which was a great services, and we're super thankful that you were the title sponsor for the event. I believe you brought in a lot of energy. People loved interacting with you. How was your experience like being a part of it?
I think if I have to put it in one single sentence, I would have really felt bad if I would have not taken the decision of becoming a title sponsor, because what an experience. Like, in fact, first of all, I should really, give kudos to you and your team. Like, how could you pull off such an event? It's not less than any international standard event. And it was so fun. And in fact, Ajay has summarized it. What was the first day's, highlight? Then he said, HESA Vamsi, like that. So that was fun. And half of CC India know about HESA and me, and it all happened through Convergence. A lot of collaboration opportunities and all. I leave the business aside, but I think Convergence has really given me an opportunity to actually express about what HESA is. And, it has connected to a lot of, people, and I made a lot of friends. And every single day I get a call from one person I would have met in, CC, Convergence event. And personally, and my team, we really enjoyed, participating in Convergence.
So what is the future for HESA in the next 5 to 10 years? Or
so such a large country, India, and a lot of villages to cover, and a lot of products and services. Today we are into commerce. Tomorrow we may get into some other thing as well. I see in next 5 to 7 years, definitely there are a few things happening. One is we'll be working not only in India, we will also expand to a few countries which are, having similar, requirements. And in this process, we are also looking at listing ourselves in, probably 3 to 4 years. And, as I said, if we could impact 10 lakh lives directly and at least 20, 25 crore people indirectly by, giving them services at their comfort and convenience, that's what we wanted to achieve. And in this process, probably, we should be, or at least I wish that we should be the largest rural commerce company in India.
Wonderful. I truly wish that happens. And I'm sure the way you're going and the business disciplines you have, your thought process, your vision, you will get there. But just one last question from my end. I know I asked about the vision of HESA. I know HESA is indirectly proportional to Vamsi. There are people who call you HESA instead of Vamsi. I realize that as well. But what is the vision of Vamsi? Where does Vamsi see himself?
So, again, as I said, every vertical or any, like for example, people relate dairy industry to, certain people who are impacted or certain. So I would want to be remembered as a person who has actually created something for rural India, which is not there, which is creating opportunities in rural India, making people's lives better. So if I wanted to be remembered for, that contribution that I would have done in future. But having said that, again, as I said, personally, I wanted to impact a lot of lives. I wanted to impact a lot of, founders as well. And probably at one point of a time, I also have a vision that, I wanted to write book about my story and also certain things which can, help people to, focus better. And that's it. I mean, I don't have any like larger goals in my life. Like, if I could impact as many lives as possible, I would be happy to doing that.
To be honest, the goals you have are the large goals for many, or is such an inspiration where you come from. I've had my own goosebump moments sitting here in the last 30, 40 minutes, because there are certain things that you said are truly remarkable. The way you want to impact the society, the way you're building your team, your focus on empathy, your vision for your HESA piece, I think all combined together, it's a beautiful, beautiful mix. And you're already a hero for us. You've already impacted many lives. You're there. Everyone knows you outside the CC community, within the CC community. And I'm sure with the great work that's coming into play, people will remember you for the great things that you've done. And I wish to come back probably again, after a few years, sit here with you, maybe in a different location, but talk about the things we've already discussed and see where it's gone. Maybe soon after your listing, we'll have one more show. That
Definitely. No, it's absolute my pleasure. Again, thanks to you for, bringing the story and the way you actually, kind of, organize this everything. So really, absolutely pleasure is mine.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Vamsi. It's a pleasure.
Thank you.
Good day.